Hello. What time is it now? Are you sure? You really need me there for this. Is Lisa gonna be there? Alright, look, I'll be over soon. Okay, right.
It's not that I don't make an effort with how I live. It's just that I don't see why I should have to live like everyone else. Title does not dictate behaviour. Just because I'm a graduate doesn't mean that I need a 9-to-5 job. I get called lazy, ungrateful. Apparently, I really have no sense of direction in my life. Why should I care what other people think of me? Most of them are assholes anyway. No, I'm pretty satisfied with my life. I know I'm not going to be the big success or have the dream life which people are thinking about. But it's alright. I like to think I've got a realistic viewpoint in life. You're born, you shit, you eat, you leave home, you discover that nobody cares about you, you get shit on some more, and you die. Right? That's why I live a simple life. I have a simple job. I own simple things. Screening process. You never know who's going to call.
Brian, it's Mum. I would really appreciate it if you answered the phone from time to time. Well, a letter came for you today. You got the job at the solicitor's office. Maybe now you can buy that car you've always been thinking of.
Oh, so now you show your face.
You wanted my help and now I'm
I needed your help an hour ago. We moved the new fridge in now. No thanks to you. What took you so long?
I had to sort some stuff out.
Oh yeah, right. Like the time you spent the entire day watching the Matrix trilogy back to back.
Yeah, that served a very important purpose.
How is that important in any way?
Well, I was able to see how those films are a massive contradiction.
A contradiction? You're kidding me, right? They're science fiction. It's completely fake.
Cheers, I thought they were real for a second. Look, right, the robots rise up, free themselves from human slavery, and enslave the human race.
That's about the gist of it, yeah.
And it becomes evident throughout the films that there's a robot hierarchy. That you've got the big floaty head thing, that's the boss. And then the agents within the Matrix, they run things. But then your underdogs are your sentinels, and they just follow orders and kill humans.
What's your point?
My point is that the robots freed themselves from human slavery.
By killing all the humans and harvesting their bodies for energy.
Yeah, but at some point, some of these robots are just slaves. Surely there should be a robot uprising. I mean, how do you think they feel about that?
Well, that does happen. In the second film, they chose exile and hide in the Matrix. Simple. Problem solved.
The problem's not solved, because what do they do within the Matrix? They just sit around and talk with French accents. I mean, surely with their superior intelligence, they'd feel sorry for one another and there should be some sort of robot civil war.
Yeah, there is. Agent Smith takes over the Matrix.
Yeah, but the big floaty head thing disposes of him easily. I mean, robot against robot in the real world.
Have you heard yourself? In the real world, it's just a film. It's an imaginary world in which we, the audience, suspend our belief to enjoy the film. This lack of a robot uprising is simply an extension of this suspension of belief, okay? Now, can we drop this?
Fine. Saw that dealer hanging around outside again.
I've told him I'd call the police if they kept hanging round here.
Lisa in?
What?
Is Lisa in? You said you weren't sure on the phone.
I think she is. Pretty sure I had some movement at some point.
So tell me, Jeff, how exactly does it feel to have a new fridge in your life?
Oh, it's probably the best day of my life. Certainly something I'll be telling the grandchildren. So are you still making that documentary of a lifetime?
Of course I am. Our generation needs to be taken seriously, and seeing as nobody else has stood up, I've appointed myself. Bunch of savages in this town.
Look who's finally up then.
They got me doing the night shift last night. Didn't get in till late.
We didn't wait you moving the fridge, did we?
No. Still don't get how you could drink tea. You alright, Brian? Take it you didn't help with the moving.
Oh, we had more important stuff to do.
What, like watch the Matrix trilogy back to back?
We've already been there this morning, not again.
All I need is coffee.
When did you tell Lisa how you feel?
What are you on about?
Oh, come on. It's obvious you've liked Lisa from the moment you first met her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, why do you sleep around with so many girls without committing yourself to any of them?
Wait, how does that exactly mean that I like Lisa?
You're like an old married couple when you're around each other. It's almost as if you sleeping around is a show to prove that you don't like Lisa.
I don't, alright? I'd film those girls for my documentary, talking about their sexual experiences, and sometimes that leads to sex.
This all sounds highly convincing, especially as no one's allowed to see this documentary of yours. Besides, I just saw you filming Lisa. Explain that.
What are you two chatting about?
Nothing.
Right. I better go get ready for work. I'll leave you two to it.
Leave us to what?
I don't know what he's talking about. So you closed last night?
Yeah, my fucking boss decided it was best to bugger off early and leave me to close up the pub by myself. I fucking hate that prick. But what you gonna do? I need the money.
You could always quit, find a new job. You're always bitching about your boss. Why not just move on?
It's not that simple. I've got rent and bills to pay. I need every penny I can get. I can't rely on my parents like some people.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, come on, Brian. Your parents paid for uni. We all know they're still giving you money to live on now.
But that's different.
How? The rest of us had to work through uni to live, whereas you just sat back and did nothing, and yet still managed to come out with a decent degree, which for reasons unknown to everyone else, you still haven't put to a good use.
Yeah, well, that's because I didn't go to uni to come out into a job I hate and hate my life. I simply just removed myself from that equation.
Removed yourself from the equation? What's that even supposed to mean? You work on a newsstand, unless of course you've been fired from that job like you have the countless others you've had. You don't earn enough money to sponge off your parents instead. It's almost as if you try to copy one of the lives of one of them characters in them trashy American films you idolise so much.
But
and then of course you've been making this documentary for God knows how long. You still won't let any of us see it.
that's because it's more of a private documentary.
Oh really? Well, seeing as I seem to appear in it quite frequently, I'd like to know how exactly I'm portrayed. What is this? Have you just been filming me the whole time?
I like you. Okay?
Like me?
Yeah, like you.
Brian, you've got to stop this. I mean, yeah, sure, I sort of fancied you when I first met you. But then you just came across as some sort of slacker. You sleep with countless girls, none of which you see again unless by accident. Do you really think I'd want to be with someone who can't commit? Just try being yourself for a change rather than someone you've seen in a film. I've seen the real you whenever you've cheered me up on a bad day. Why can't you be like that all the time instead of this fake image you've created?
You should shit or get off the pot. It's a phrase I've always taken to heart, but I've never really turned on myself. Lisa's probably right. I've been living a facade. And them girls are probably just a cover-up. I should probably grow up a bit. Hello, Mum. It's Brian.